Yesterday, students with the Algoma District School Board had the unique opportunity to engage in meaningful dialogue around reading, writing, oral communication, and media literacy in the modern age. Workshops were offered to 160 students from grades 6 and 7 from Wawa to Elliott Lake, who were selected by their teachers for their interest in being ambassadors who will take what they learned back to their schools. On TV's Riley Smith was there.
Years ago, we had a Young Authors Conference with the Algoma District School Board, but it has been quite a while. So the seed was planted in the spring of this year to put one together, really looking through the lens of the 21st century literacy learner. So we targeted grade 7, 8 students because we know the possibilities that are available to them and how capable they are. And we really wanted to highlight innovation and creativity combined with literacy.
Algoma District School Board Superintendent of Human Resources Frank Palumbo joined Riley Smith to give some insight behind the increase in enrollment numbers across the board this September. He explains how the increase has resulted in 8 more classrooms and more teaching jobs and opportunities for those in the educational field.
We opened up 8 new classes, 8 new classrooms. So 7 of those would be right within that central area of Sault Ste. Marie, and one of them was out east in Elliott Lake.
Okay.
So there's an increase in those elementary classes, and it's just again another good news story because we're able to offer some employment to some teachers that are coming back. The numbers of actual hirings as well, we're seeing that that's really increasing just due to demographics. People are retiring, so we really are encouraging people to come back to the Soo even for teaching jobs because, number one, like we said, we've added classrooms. We're definitely seeing that retirement bubble happen, and it's
Scores of Canadians openly rolled, smoked, vaped, and rhapsodized over their legally bought weed for the first time yesterday as a seismic cultural shift ushered in a new era of how cannabis and cannabis users are regarded across the country. While much of the day unfolded pretty much as a typical midweek workday for many, there were signs of a monumental milestone being crossed. The pungent odor of marijuana wafting along Montreal's boutique-lined St. Catherine Street, the appearance of furry, costumed characters passing a massive joint while cavorting in a Toronto park, a full-page newspaper ad by an investment firm touting the economic potential of a budding industry. After nearly a century of prohibition, the dawn of legal recreational marijuana was met with jubilant celebration by longtime advocates. Meanwhile, Jagmeet Singh is calling for the deletion of criminal records for people convicted of simple pot possession. The NDP leader says people who receive pardons will still be negatively impacted by the records.
With pardons, they are really suspensions of records. A suspension of record will not be recognized by the states, so someone who receives a pardon for a personal possession, a non-violent minor offense, will still not be able to travel to the states. It still continues to have serious impacts on employment, opportunities to volunteer, and that's why a pardon will not be sufficient to bring justice to the lives of people. A deletion of record will ensure that people can travel, will ensure that barriers are removed.
A lawyer for the families of Paul Bernardo's victims says they are glad the convicted killer and rapist was denied parole yesterday. Tim Danson says Bernardo has never shown remorse or apologized to the families.
It's been a very stressful day for the families. We're obviously relieved by the decision. We don't take anything for granted. It was a very difficult process for the families. It was very difficult for the families to hear Paul Bernardo's evidence, if we want to call it that, his explanations for his crimes. We're certainly also relieved not just that day and full parole was denied, but that the parole board, with obviously reasons to follow, have reaffirmed the dangerous offender designation. And it is in the victim impact statement, I know Donna referred to it specifically in her victim impact statement, that there's never been an apology by Paul Bernardo. There's been never any indication whatsoever of remorse.